What's going on, everybody? It's ETAPRIME back here again. This is going to be a quick one, but recently we got an announcement of an upcoming handheld that actually looks really awesome on paper, and from the renders, it also looks like a really nice little setup. This is coming to us from AYN, the creators of the Odin and the Odin 2, so they're no strangers to these type of handhelds, but what they've dubbed this is the Odin 2 Mini. Obviously, a lot of inspiration for this thing was taken from the Vita, and I'm totally fine with that. And of course, since they've given this the moniker Mini, it should be coming in a lot smaller than the original Odin 2. And when it comes to the Odin 2, I still think it's one of the best Android handhelds on the market. We've got that Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. It's got a 6-inch IPS display, which still looked really good, but with the Odin 2 Mini, it looks like they're adding some really welcome upgrades. And right now, we've seen two different color variants, and all we've really seen are renders. They've got a black version and a white version. Both look really nice, and we've got front-facing stereo speakers here. This is going to be coming in a bit smaller on the screen side at 5 inches, but they've upgraded from an IPS display like we see in the original Odin 2 to a mini LED display. And this is going to be one of the first handheld gaming consoles with a mini LED display. 155% sRGB. The resolution will stay the same as the original Odin 2, coming in at 1920 by 1080, 16 by 9 aspect ratio, and with the 5-inch display here, given that they've got all of those pixels packed in, this should be a really clean picture. They also posted an exploded view render, and from here we can see that we've got active cooling, which is going to help out with long-term performance out of this chipset they opted to use. And if you zoom in close enough, you can see that there is a micro SD card slot. It's a screwless appearance design, which means you won't see the screws at all from the exterior of the unit. And hopefully the screws aren't hidden under rubber adhesive or something like that. I mean, if they are, there's not much I need to get inside of here for. We can't upgrade the storage or anything because this is another Android handheld. And they've also released a spec sheet for this unit, and it looks like we're getting the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, same thing we see in the original Odin 2. So with this, we get an 8-core SoC, one Gold Plus core up to 2.3 GHz, and for the GPU, it's that Adreno 740. 8 or 12 gigabytes of RAM, it's using LPDDR5X, 128 or 256 gigabytes of storage, and they're using UFS 4.0 storage. We're getting that 5-inch mini LED display with a resolution of 1920 by 1080, HDMI out plus DisplayPort, Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 5.3, a 5000 mAh battery, active cooling, 65-watt quick charge 5.0, and this is coming in at 320 grams. Now, we've got a good idea of how this thing's going to perform. We've seen it in the Odin 2 and lots of other smartphones on the market with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, so we know exactly what we can really do with this unit. But the final thing I wanted to talk about here was pricing, because they have released this. They've got two models, but first we're heading over to the AYN website. Right now you can actually pick up the original Odin 2 base model for $299, and I see this on sale for $299 a lot. It's got 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigabytes of storage. You can go up from here with the Odin 2, but now it's time to take a look at the Odin 2 Mini pricing, because there's two models available. You've got the base model, which only comes in that black color variant. It has 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of storage, $339. And for the Pro model with 12 gigs of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage, $399. Now, these aren't sale prices, and the base model of the original Odin 2 is the same price retail, but they're on sale. And like I mentioned, I do see that sale going on all the time. So the real question is this going to be an upgrade from the original Odin 2? Personally, I do like the smaller form factor, love the fact that we've got that mini LED display, but in terms of native Android gaming performance and emulation performance, you're going to see the same across the board because they're using that Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. And of course, even with software, if they were to overclock the GPU by a little bit, maybe even overclock the CPU in the Mini versus the original Odin 2, it's not going to be a massive performance jump. Now, I know there are some people out there that are going to sell their original Odin 2 to pick up the Mini, and I mean, it's totally up to you. Personally, I'd say if you've already got an Odin 2, you're happy with the way it performs right now, keep that, wait for a more powerful device. But if you were interested in picking up an Odin 2 in the first place, I would probably opt for the Mini, and it really comes down to that display. And I know it's coming in smaller than the original Odin 2, but I think given that it is a mini LED display, it's going to look much better than the IPS on the original. But that's going to wrap it up for this video. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. Is this something you're interested in? If you've got an Odin 2 right now, are you just going to kind of pass this up? Or are you going to try to sell your Odin 2 to pick this up, or just skip it altogether? Let us know down below. And like always, thanks for watching.